Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. This is Deb with Dahlia Designs Jewelry and More, and on the 26th, which was last Wednesday of May 2021, I did an unveiling, as did Softflex, of their Renewal Mystery Design Kit, and I have been making jewelry with it. So out of this spool of fluorite color beading wire, I have some bits, but that's it. And part of the reason for having some of these bits is because I had to restring one half of one necklace, but I did, and I kept the other piece because it's long enough to do a bracelet, and some of these I could use for earrings in the future or whatever. I also have 2 crimp tubes and 2 bead caps, and that's it. Plus I use some pieces, and that includes using up the Renewal bead strand, which I got free, and all the rest of the beads in the kit, and some pieces out of the Pretty as a Peacock kit, which I'll show you when we get there, only on the last piece. So let me take this off and I'll show you everything. Not everything is out here. I have two or three other pieces to share too. This was the first piece that I made. So this is like a rattan, it says Goody Beads on there, but I bought these at Softflex. I bought 2 of them, and they're like a woven natural thing, which I thought went with Renewal. So, and of course we got this tiara cast moth in the kit, and I made these little flowy bead dangles. You know how like the trail behind with the flight? That's what I was going for. And these are those little cream drops that were on a strand. And these are, I call them glowy beads. They sort of have a glow to them. They were in the JJB part of the kit. Just 2 5mm jump rings here. And then I went around the ring and through the moth to attach both sides of this necklace. And you can see these are from the bead strand here, as are these and these and these, and everything else was in the kit, meaning these check fire polish, the glowy beads, the little silver spacers, not those glowy beads, these crackle glass kind of looking things, and I think that's about it, and the beading wire, of course. And then I wanted to make it a little longer than that, but I didn't want to use any more beads, so I have been wanting to try using leather. Now I have leather. Yes, I years ago stockpiled everything because my thought process was I'm not going to be able to afford to buy anything later, so I'll get it all now and then I'll make and sell. Well, I've been making, but yeah, I'm bad about getting my stuff out in my shop, so I'm going to do better. Anyway, I found this 2mm round leather cord Oasis turquoise. It was from Auntie's Beads back in 2014. And I had 2 of them, and they were meters. I think they were 4 meters long, 2 meters long, which is about yards, 2 yards. So I had bought 2 of them, so I had 4 yards, and I think I used about 1 yard, and I have 2 pieces made with the stuff, so I'll show the next one later. And then I found these. I was looking all over. I went online. I'm like, what do you use to close leather? Because I have not made stuff with leather. And they have some really nice, at Beading and probably other places, they have some really nice crimp things, which I need to get for 2mm leather because I have a lot more 2mm leather. Anyway, I don't have them, but I found these plain ones, which I had bought at jewelrymaker.com, the UK company, and there were 5 pair in here. So I used 2 pair, 2 down here and 2 up here, and I just attached the, those were kind of hard too, to push them with your pliers. I did use a little E6000 glue in both ends, and also I pushed really hard several times. In fact, I pushed so hard with my nylon jaw plier that it broke the nylon off the plier and it went flying, and I still don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my room. So yes, that was interesting. So I went back to my flat nose pliers, the metal ones, and I just squished, like a couple times I held it like this to do it because I wanted to make sure it was secure. And I let it overnight, and it seems to be okay. I haven't been able to tug it apart. This is the lobster claw clasp from the kit. I did use oval jump rings there and there to hold it on more securely too. So I think this is about 20 inches. Let's see. I'll go from here. Well, that says that's about 14 inches, but I don't, well, if I go from here, yeah, 13, about 26 inches it says. I wanted it to be a little longer. I didn't want it to hang, you know, in your shirt collar. I wanted it to go down, you know, to your bosom area kind of thing. And it does, and I love how it lays. It's really pretty. So anyway, that was the first necklace. And I'm going to move that out of the way because the next one, I also did a little different technique than what I usually do. This was from the bead strand, and you'll see it had gold on it, right? And there were also these 4 gold saucer beads. So I thought, well, I'll look for gold stuff, and I want to do Kumihimo. I've been wanting to do Kumihimo. So I got out one of my many Kumihimo discs. This is a Dazzle It one. I have no idea where I bought it from. And I also got out some wax cord, 1mm in ivory. And this was in the same thing, but it doesn't feel as waxy. It feels more smooth. But it's in like this, I don't have it labeled. They're both from jewelrymaker.com. It's a little waxy. It's like in this darker green, forest green, olive, almost like an olive green, I guess. It doesn't really go with the seafoam, but I didn't have that kind of lighter color. And I almost put gold in it, but I decided not to because this is Chinese knotting cord and not the wax cord. So I cut 8 lengths of this, much of which I have, left. Which I think I'm just going to do some macrame with for a bracelet or something. And I cut off more than I should have. I probably should have left this on because I would have liked this a little longer. I believe it is a 16-inch necklace now. Let's just check that too, shall we? No, it's about an 18-inch. That's right, because this fits me really nice as like a collar necklace. So let's see, everything, these I think were from the strand, and this was from the strand, and everything else was from, and the gold saucers, and everything else was from the kit. I did use the fluorite beading wire. These oval jump rings came with these bullet things. They were Beadsmith. I don't know where I got these. Goody Beads maybe. 6mm bullet gold plate, and it came with a toggle and 2 bails, and these plus the oval jump rings. The gold lobster claw was from my stash, as was the gold jump ring there. And that's about, and I also used, this is glue in. I used some actually scraps of beading wire and to wrap it around the ends before I cut off, and then I used a bunch of E6000 glue in there, and that's in pretty secure now too. Yeah, I let that sit overnight also. Now this one, I did it this way so I wouldn't have to cut and put 2 more of these on, because I don't know if I have 2 more of those. So I made the clasp on the side, and it's a little tricky getting it on, but it's really easy to get it off. You know, it's just easier to take it off than it is to put it on. But and it lays nice once it's on, and this feels nice. It's smooth against your skin in the back. So I love how that turned out also. And then I'll show you this necklace next. This is actually the last necklace that I made. I have another one I made before this, but I used the leather again. What happened is I had all these leftover beads. I had 2 of these fire polish, one little, you're saying, where's the rest of these? I'll show you in a minute. One little, what do they call it? 5x7mm check glass drops, and 2 O beads, I call them, like green translucent O beads, and 1 big silver bead that was off the bead strand that this and some of those other beads came on. So I had bought these textured rings, 1 large and 2 small, and I'll show you the small ones later, in a different piece. And I thought, okay, so I put all that together, and then I thought, oh, and these 2 bead caps. I have 2 of those bead caps left. There were 4 of them. Yeah. Then I thought, okay, what am I going to do with it now? And I didn't want to use, I was just going to use a chain. I thought, no, I have this leather cord out. Let's use the leather. So I just put leather cord on again in that same Oasis turquoise. And then I also had the hammered magnetic clasp. And I put 2 oval jump rings on. And again, these, now these I didn't have overnight. I just made this today. So that has to sit a while before I would let it go out of my hands. So that's that one. And the leather needs to be, you know, worked. So let's see, let me move them out of the way for the next one. And the last necklace I made, I love. I love it. Here it is. I did a little bead weaving, and I made some matching earrings as well. Delicate little things. Here's the other 2 O-rings, or textured hammered rings that are tiara cast. So these square beads were in the kit. There was a strand of them, and I used all of them here. I don't think I used them anywhere else. No. So I used all the squares here, and I used all the drops other than ones. There's 2 in a bracelet. I'll show you this bracelet here. And I already showed you 1 on here. And there were some 2, 4 in this. And so these are all the rest of them. And I'm not showing you things in order. I actually made this bracelet before. This was like the last piece because it was like the leftovers, right? So what I did here is I used the beading wire from the kit and strung through the first one, and you can maybe see that it's crimped here onto the ring. All right, and then I got out Fireline, the crystal, white crystal color, and I did a little bead weaving with seed beads. So I did bring in some seed beads, and what I used were these 8mm round Picasso Seafoam Green. They are Miyuki Japanese seed beads, 8/0 round. I don't know where I got these. Maybe Art Beads? I'm not sure. Maybe AC Moore way back when. I have to look it up. And then I also used size 11 matte opaque seafoam green round Japanese seed beads. These are not delicacies, these are the round seed beads. Those I got from Fusion Beads way back in 2013. And Fusion Beads doesn't have fusionbeads.com anymore, but they are on Amazon. So you can see if you can find those colors. Here's the color of the seafoam green Miyuki 8-94514-TB. Anyway, what I did is I went through both parts. I used the 8/0 seed beads. Then I came back and did the picot fringe, right? So I used 15 of the 11/0s here, made a loop around and did my picot fringe all the way down, made the loop around and came back through, and then I went like through the square, down through these 2 beads, down through here, wrapped around the bottom bead. That's how you do a little fringe thing, a drop, then back up and through the bottom picot again, and then through the next one and through the check square, and repeat all the way down. There are 8 here, 8 here, and these 2, I used 2 of those green, light green O beads. I was going to use these check fire polished, but they didn't look right. They were like too big and bulky for the rest of the design, and I didn't like how it looked, so I changed my mind and just used the O beads and the larger seed bead on top, and then just the little beads all the way around. I think that's so cute, but it was too big for a bracelet and I wanted it to be a necklace anyway, so I thought, well, now what am I going to do? So what I did is I wire wrapped some bead links, these little ovals I had left, and these check fire polish. I had 10 fire polish left other than the 2 in that last piece, and I had 6 of these little tiny champagne colored ovals, which, by the way, 20 gauge wire doesn't go through, but 22 gauge wire did, so that's what I used. Artistic wire in 22 gauge, which is a silver plated copper, non-tarnished silver, and I again don't know where I got that, but it's artistic wire. You can look it up. So these beads and these rings here were from the kit, also these textured rings, so I thought they went well with the hammered rings, which were not from the kit. And then I used oval jump rings to link the rings and the bead links together. Here I just used, now this one I used 20 gauge wire because it's near the clasp and I wanted it to be sturdy and it would fit, whereas it would not fit through these, so I used 22 gauge. And here again I used, well, not again, this is the first time you're seeing it, I used these were from Beadbox Bargains back in 2016, I want to say. I had them here, but I don't know where I put it. Here it is. Yeah, April 2016. And they're double-sided clasps, and they're really nice. Plus, this is all about renewal, so it's a flower, and I just thought that went perfectly with it. I did use some sturdy oval, either 18 or 16 gauge, I forget. I think 18 gauge jump rings, and to hook everything together, and there you have it. Now that one, I think that was 12 plus 4. This is either 16 or 18 also, I believe, when you put it on, and I love it. I think this is more maybe 16 or 17. Really pretty, love it. And I'll have to measure it better before I list it, but, and then these I kept out 2 of the squares. I keep wanting to call them tilas, and 2 of the drops, and I did put this on beading wire, and all I did was I looped it up here, went through on either side 2 seed beads, the square, 2 seed beads, came together through a seed bead. Now I use the 8/0s on all of this, and the little drop, another seed bead, and then this is a crimp bead, and I just cut it off at the end. I didn't leave a tail, could have. And then I did use a little oval 6x4 jump ring there and a 5mm there, and then these are silver plated lever backs with shells on from Fire Mountain. So those are, they're really lightweight, but they dangle nice and they match. So that's all the necklaces, all 4 of them. And then actually this was done before this. This was, I don't remember anymore, but this was like the last necklace I made. I think I made this bracelet before that. So it has that same clasp on. I did use the fluorite beading wire. Everything is from the kit except, I think all of this is from the kit, either on strands like the fire polish and these little opalite beads and this big one, or they were in the Jesse James part of it, like these O beads and the squares and these green ones. So I just made a simple bracelet, which I believe fits 6 3/4 to 7-inch wrist. These earrings I made early on. They do use the ear wires from the kit. Let me make sure you can see. I'm sorry. And I call these little green beads glowy beads. These are 2 of the bead caps and that were in the kit, and 2 of the head pins that were in the kit, and I just love those drops. And there were 2 of them. If there were 3, I probably would have added one to this, but there weren't. And then the next earrings I made were these. I went with blue, and I picked out the 2 roundest, consistent looking of these beads that were in the kit. I don't know what they're called, but they're like a blue iris, but they're not consistent in shape. These 2 were pretty consistent, so I used them. 2 more bead caps, and these are actually like a flat oval crystal. Gorgeous. Put them all on an eye pin from my stash, and then hook these little cage beads on that we got. I love those little ones. And 5mm silver plated copper jump ring on there. And those ear wires also were from the kit. They gave us 2 pair this time, which was very nice. Thank you, Softflex. And then I made these next because we had some blue beads, which you'll notice I didn't use in the rest of this stuff. So I might change these ear wires out. These are from jewelrymaker.com, and they have hearts on them, but I don't really like the way they sit on top of these. But we had blue bicones and blue drops, and I did use I think these were my, no, these might have been the last 2 ball head pins. Yeah, 2 here and 2 here. And I actually, when we got these, there were these clear seed beads. See them right there? 2 there and 1 there. There were clear seed beads in between these, and I used them right here and right here. And then so this is on an eye pin, this is on a head pin, and I put 2 5mm jump rings there to make it dangle nice. But the ear wire is bugging me, so I think I'm going to put another and it's hooked right on. I think I'm going to put another maybe 2 jump rings there and make it dangle from up here better too. So yeah, it'll make it longer, and you can't use just one because then it won't lay you know, it won't lay right. So yeah, those were pretty. And then this was the last piece I made, and I was down to these blue cubes, and there wasn't, oh, these 2, see what I mean by they're not consistent in shape, but I wanted to use them. These blue irisy kind of beads. One's more like a tube and one's a round, but it's in the back of the bracelet. And another 3rd one of these from Bargain Bead Box, but from the kit it was just those odd beads, the 4 cubes, and there was, oh, and these 4 bead caps, 2 there and 2 here. And all the other beads on this strand were from the Pretty as a Peacock kit from a couple months ago that I never got to use. So I thought, I need some other blue beads. So including this, the crystals, the pearls, these sort of teal blue tubes, these crystals and the bead caps, these pearls and the bead caps, and these tubes. And the beading wire, which is the dark denim lapis beading wire. I'm almost out of that one now because I've been using it out of that kit, and I still have a lot of that kit left because I haven't used any beads out of it except for on here. I've been using the beading wire though. And this one is a 7-inch. Now let me show you how I determine that, because people have said they have trouble sizing. I use one of these. This is also from jewelrymaker.com, but you can get them in the States from anywhere. They might have different sizes. This particular one has 6, 6.5, 7, 7, and 7 3/4, which would be like for a guy's wrist. But this is a 7-inch bracelet. Now, when you lay this out on your normal like necklace making board, you can see it looks like it's a 8.5-inch bracelet, but it isn't, because the beads are larger. They take up more room. You really need to have a mandrel, or a board like this is cheaper than a mandrel probably, to determine the size of your bracelets. And this one is a little bit big on me because my wrist is smaller than a 7-inch. It's a 6 3/4 or something like that. Anyway, I'm not going to put it on all the way, but you can see it's a little bit big on me, and I don't like it quite that loose on me. So this one will be for sale for someone with a little bit larger wrist, and 7 is not really a large wrist, but you know, it fits a 7-inch wrist. There you go. This one, on the other hand, I think also fits around here. However, no, it doesn't. It's like a 6. It's bigger than a 6.5-inch. And I'm pretty sure this fit me just. So maybe my wrist is 6.5. I don't know. I thought it was 6 3/4. Now I can't even get it hooked. There we go. So it's a little bit bigger than a 6.5, but not a whole lot bigger than a 6.5. I don't know. I thought I tried to get this on. Yeah, I can put it on. So maybe my wrist is 6.5-inch, which is why 7 seems so big on me, because that'll fit me. I know I tried them. I try them on just to see, and that's what that looks like. Okay, now I'm probably not keeping any of these, unfortunately. Sometimes I might, but I really need to sell. All right, so let me make sure I showed you everything. Let's see, we had one. Oh, and this, I don't know if I showed you this, did I? The last piece? I think I did. Anyway, this was made with the leftovers. Fire polish, the little dangle, the last one of those. And I had some more of the leather. So we had the first piece with the moss and a little bit of leather. We had the Kumihimo braided piece with the gold findings on it. So 4 necklaces, 2 bracelets, and 4 pair of earrings. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun making this stuff. I kind of got on a roll. It's been, I'll say like 2.5 days, but not full time doing it. You know, I've had other stuff going on, like cooking and trying to stay warm. It was so cold here the last few days. My hands are still like icicles. It's supposed to be 72 or something Fahrenheit today, which is much better than 45 Fahrenheit. But I'm about ready to go get cleaned up and have some nice warm water run over me. And then I have some things to do on my other channel for today that I promised people. So anyway, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Softflex, for a wonderful kit. These I honestly, I like this one a lot better. Maybe the natural colors are more me than the bright colors. I don't know. I like it all. Yeah, I'll just be honest. I like it all. All right. Have a wonderful day. I hope that if you're in the United States, today is Memorial Day. Please take a moment and remember those who fought for our freedom, and especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to have free speech, free movement, pretty much. You know, there are some exceptions, obviously, but yeah, we're more or less a free country, and let's appreciate what we have. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. Surprise! I have a quick update. I was putting my materials away as my video was uploading to my editing software, and I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more of those check fire polish beads. I still had these 2 bead caps. I went back to the March bargain bead box kit that I hadn't done anything with yet, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green aventurine and this lovely little toggle clasp here. So I made another bracelet. And I used the 2 crims, the 2 bead caps, and what happened is I work on it's like a bead tray, but it's on top of foam thing inside a plastic case, and the lid of it is underneath the case, and somehow these 8 beads spilled over the side, maybe when I took them off the strand in the first place, spilled over the side of the plastic thing and were laying on the lid but right next to the thing, so I didn't see them. But I picked up that case to dump some scraps of wire out of it. And lo and behold, there were 8 of these fire polish. So isn't that funny? So I have 3 bracelets, 4 necklaces, and 4 pair of earrings. I just, if I don't know that, I maybe could have used some more fire polish. But this fits me snugly, and I have about a 6 3/4 inch wrist. So I'm going to say it'll fit 6 1/2 to 6 3/4. But I think it's gorgeous. And I had to use the Pro Econoflex. I had a scrap of that because this scrap, it actually wasn't long enough for the bracelet. So I just have some scraps of the fluorite beading wire left, and that is it. So I combined the 2 kits and just made a cute little simple bracelet. And since it was 9 beads, the center one got bead caps, and yeah, there you have it. I almost made a stretchy, but yeah, I wanted to use the crimp beads too, so I didn't. And the bead cap, I don't know. You could turn that into a stretchy, but I didn't have enough beads. I think I would have needed another 2 more of those and 1 more of these to do a nice size stretchy bracelet. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye.